Let's take a random trinket out of the player's handbook and turn it into something awesome. Rolling for a random trinket, we get number 62. Number 62 is a silver skull the size of a coin. So we're going to call this one the Skull of Truth. And yes, I am basing this off of the book series for kids. It was fun. So this item is a cursed item. It is possessed by a soul that is forced to tell the truth and only the truth. And with items like this, I like their potency to grow over time. So initially, when the campaign first starts out, your characters are unaware of its ability. However, the character in possession of it will slowly start hearing a voice. Initially only while asleep or unconscious, but eventually growing to the point where they can have conversations during waking hours. But do it slow, to the point where even the player thinks their character might be going insane. At the same time, the curse is spreading to all of them, so anyone in an area of effect around it will be in a zone of truth, meaning they can only speak the truth. This can lead to some hilarious events, both good and bad for your party. So check it out. Tell me what you think. Let's take another random trinket out of the player's handbook and turn it into something awesome. Rolling for a number, and we get number 41. And number 41 is a scrap of cloth from an old banner. So I'm going to call this one Scraps of Honor. This is a non-magical item, but it has its own kind of power. You'll have to work with your player to figure out when and where their character got this. Most likely passed down as some kind of family heirloom. But it appears to be just a ragged scrap of some very old banner. But it was important to a family member, so it's important to them. This banner is from either a very old noble family, or possibly even royalty, or some military organization, and marks the bearer as somebody very, very important, like a general or the king themselves. Now, obviously, this faction is debunked by this point. You'll have to work out the details to fit your world. But basically, when it's displayed, the character will either gain the rustic hospitality feature, the position of privilege, or the military rank features from the background set, but only if they're in an area that was favorable to that organization. But people might also hate them. Here we go again, turning another player's handbook trinket into an awesome item. Roly-olio. We get number 60. And 60 is a glass eye. So this one I had a little bit more trouble with, but we're going to call it Righetti's Lost Eye. Now this eye functions much like a sending stone, except that you don't hear things. You see things when you look into the eye. And what you see is what its pair sees. That's right, there's a second one out there someplace. But of course your players don't have possession of this. So you as a DM could have some real fun with this. It could be in possession of the big bad evil guy. Or, it could be sitting on the wall in a spice shop or something. Or maybe a shop that offers a little bit more exotic wares. But the downside of this item is it doesn't just see one way. That's right, if the person on the other side knows how it's used, they could be looking back at your party. Again, your big bad evil guy could have this. And in case I wasn't clear, there is no sound that comes through.